is here.
Was it 5?
Yes, it was a limited series. Yes.
I think it was 6.
Okay, 6. But it was so short, and you left us. I mean, who wants Castle and Castle again, right?
Yes, we want
Right, you want more Castle and Castle.
Very
and I
lovely
think something you've done so
love.
brilliantly is taking recognized formats, like you said, a heist, a procedural drama. You've taken all these things and you've made them Naija. You've given them that dash of our fashion, our arts, our culture. You've shown them places. And for me, that's something that other people need to do, and do it at such scale and quality. So how do you infuse that Naija essence? You already touched on it in an earlier answer, that really tells the story of us authentically, but yet appeals to a global audience.
I think it's about quality. It's about making sure that you're doing things at a particular standard within the confines of the budgets that you have. Of course, I wish I had a lot more money to work with, but based on what you have, it's about just doing the best job possible. And a lot of, really, I say often in filmmaking that it's common sense. You know, like, if I'm at a restaurant, and let's say we have a restaurant scene, and there's food on the table, and the food is not eaten, does that look real? No. So make sure that you eat it, so that by the time you come back, maybe they're still there, you can see that the food has been eaten. Why do we make films in Lagos when somebody wakes up in the morning and she's got makeup on, and she's got eyelashes on? I'm sorry, it's not authentic. It doesn't make sense. You cannot go, you wake up in the morning, you have a scarf on your head, right? When we did the film 50, we actually made sure we had wig stands so that they know that she's wearing a wig. It's okay. Half of us here are wearing wigs today. It's become part of our culture. Right? And what I do in a lot of our films is I make sure that they take the wigs on and take them off. Because if not, they don't even recognize the characters abroad. They're like, is that the same person? So if you look at Blood Sisters, they flung off their wigs at the end because it was important to know that when you see them next time, they're going to be wigless. If not, you're not going to recognize them. So it's about, a lot of it really is common sense. And just treat your film like it's real life. It's not a reality show, but treat it like it's real life. If this was a real life situation, could this really happen? Unless you're doing sci-fi. If you're doing sci-fi, then certain things, and we can't afford to do sci-fi. Please don't try, because we don't have the budgets. So don't even go there.
Yes, sir.
So just keep it real. If it's drama, keep it grounded in the realness of it. And those are the stories that travel the most.
Stories that are grounded in realness. Now, the big one has to do with funding, because if you're going on that global stage, you need to have money. And a lot of the filmmakers here have found ways to stretch that naira, stretch that kobo. But what are things that can be done now to attract funding, whether it's from the tech guys, or whether it's from the Bank of Industry, or from different stakeholders, or perhaps there are pots of money at some rainbows that we don't know about? Can you just tell us about that?
I think that there needs to be a sense of show business is real business. And I think sometimes in our sector, things aren't done in a way that you are structured enough for the investors or the banks or the funders to take you seriously. So you have to run your business properly. You've got to keep the books. You've got to make sure that you have a line manager when you're in production, that you've got proper budgets, that you work with what you can, so that you can see what is that return on investment going to be like. Now, if you go to the Bank of Industry is going to ask you for certain financial documents, about your past, maybe your business plan or your accounting for the last 3 years. So if you haven't started that process, you have to start. Even abroad, if you're trying to get money from the BFI, for those that are British and others that exist around the world, they're always going to ask you for paperwork. And I find that often some creators believe that I don't have to do any paperwork, I'm a creative. Well, if that is your attitude, you may have to stay there. So you're going to have to work with people that can help you get your books in order. You're going to have to work with people that can help you tell a story and write a pitch deck. You're going to have to work with someone that can really tell a story and write you a good script. Because this is what sells at the box office. you know, and that's how you're going to get a return on your investment. And I think a lot of our financial institutions also need to make sure that they have advisory boards from the sector. I mean, how does BOI, I don't know, don't let me say BOI, how does any financial institution know a good story from that story? I don't know how they know. I mean, I don't know, maybe they can tell us how they know. But there needs to be an advisory board of some sort that may say, even who is your cast? Because if Auntie Joka is in a movie, you know that the movie is going to sell, right? If you're putting certain key stars in that film, you're likely to get a better return on your investment. You have to market the movie. What is your marketing? I spoke about that earlier. What is your marketing budget? So these are the key questions that financiers need to be asking filmmakers, and we need to be ready to provide that information. Because if we don't, they may not. So what I often do is I give them more information than they need. And they're like, oh, thank you for sharing that with us. They didn't even, sometimes they don't even know. So it's really about packaging, and it's about putting together something that you can present to them that's going to give them some comfort. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're out of time now, but if you've learned as much as I did, I think you'll appreciate her with a warm round of applause. And I must say, seeing you up close in person, you're truly 60 going on 16. Yeah. And just like Dr. Shaibu said, we need to keep that 60-day celebration going. So at this point, I'd like to invite Mr. Segun Arinze, a senior colleague in the industry, a veteran in his own right. Please put your hands together for him.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she pretty? Isn't she fabulous? Isn't she lovely? They continue. Congratulations. Please come down with me. Yeah, there you go. And no, the party continues to the end of the year. Our president, please can we get the phrase, please?
Please, if I remember the ESCOs of the Federation of Nollywood Games and Association, if they're here, they need to be by her side. I'll be here, the minister's representative will be here, Uncle Mahmoud, Uncle Adikas, everyone on the table. They are your Mosigwe family, BFF.
Can you please come up with this full backs, please? You're embarrassing us.
The minister's rep will present this
on behalf of the.
Please, all members of the ESCO, including Uncle Boyo, who is the chairman of the board.
First, I think what we should do first is we'll do the presentation first, and